Deceiver was waiting for them when they came running in. He watched as the team members took their chairs, his expression set in that calm but worried way he had whenever the news wasn't good. Corona felt a nudge at her elbow. Glancing up, Condemner gave her a wink and nodded in the direction of the other side of the table. She followed his silent request in time to see Starlight taking her place in her chair. There was no way the woman could mask the extra glow in her cheeks or brightness in her eyes, especially when she cast a furtive glance and a smile at her husband sitting a few chairs away. "All right, people. We have a situation on Pelendora. To give you a quick recap, the Pelendors are underground dwellers, very intelligent and communicative quadrupeds, but they live on a planet that has highly active volcanoes and earthquakes. Most of the time, the eruptions are all minor, and they can dig themselves out without the need for outside or additional help. Not this time. An entire strata of igneous rock has shifted and torn away from one of their main communities. They're estimating losses of nearly 100,000 lives unless we can get over there to help them out. Seeker and Hunter, I'm putting you two in charge of search and rescue. Disaster, they'll need your strength. Commander, see if you can help with shoring up what's left. This is a priority 1 call. Let's get moving!" The moment the Guardian leader had called out his name and not Starlight's, Hunter had felt the blanket of fear wrap itself around him with bone-chilling cold. He was not even aware that the blood had rushed out of his face until Deceiver glanced back at him and stared. "Are you ill, Hunter? What's the matter?" Slowly, Hunter shook his head. I'm all right." He started to mutter when a beloved presence took his hand in hers. Calmly, Star guided his face down to look at her. She gave his hand another squeeze as she stared into his blue depths. "We knew this time would come sooner or later. Everything's going to be fine." "Hunter?" Deceiver came up to clap his friend on the shoulder. "I really need you on this mission or I wouldn't have assigned you." I know, Hunter hastened to acknowledge. "It's just that..." His voice trailed off, yet everyone still remaining in the meeting room knew exactly why the man had gone deathly white. "I thought I had prepared myself for this. I thought I would be ready by now." He tried to say more, but his throat had suddenly closed up, and a tremendous rush of heat washed over him. If he didn't go, and go now, Hunter knew he would never be able to tear himself away. Ignoring their stares, he pulled his wife into his arms and buried his face in her thick hair where it draped over her shoulder and neck. Star felt him trembling, and she tried to calm him with her words and her hands. "Hey, look at it this way. There's no Umbitra. You're not leaving me alone. There's 11 more of us staying behind. 12, counting the doc. Udo, my truest love, look at me." Slowly, he pulled back to gaze down at her face. His eyes glittered with unshed tears he fought not to shed. She didn't have to be a mind reader to know what memories were terrifying him. "I'll be here when you get back. I promise. I'll be waiting for you. This first mission will be the hardest. We knew that. But after this one, the rest will be easier. You know that, right?" "Right," he admitted gruffly. Without taking his eyes off of her, he cleared his throat and said in a firmer voice, "Deceiver, I'm trusting you to make sure my wife remains in good health until my return." "You have my word," the man promised. Slowly, Hunter bent over to give her a loving kiss that almost melted her. Murmuring a breathy, "I love you, Terran," into her ear, he quickly released her, almost shoving her away from him, and popped out of sight to join the others waiting for him at the transport bay.